Welcome to the channel. Come on in. Let's dive right in. Go ahead, take a breath. Not a forced one, just enough to notice that the breathing has already happened. Before we go anywhere, notice a simple fact. You didn't choose the breath, yet it came. That alone hints at something deeper than an identity you usually carry. Tonight, we're exploring one of the most radical truths ever discovered by mystics, philosophers, and seekers across every culture and age. The self you think you are is not who you truly are or what you truly are. And strangely enough, realizing this doesn't diminish your life, it liberates it. From the moment you learned language, you began collecting stories. Your name, your personality, your strengths and flaws, your memories, traumas, victories, and failures. Over time, these stories fused into something that feels solid, a self. But pause for a moment and look closer. Where exactly is this self? Is it in your thoughts? The thoughts change constantly. Is it in your emotions? Well, they rise and fall like the weather. Is it in your body? Your body has changed entirely since childhood. Cells replaced, features altered, and yet you still say, "This is me." So, what exactly is the me that you're referring to? Most people never ask that question. They live inside the story, mistaking the narrator for the truth. But the moment you look directly at the self, something strange happens. It begins to dissolve. The illusion of self isn't a trick or a lie, it's a functional construction. The mind creates a center of identity to navigate the world efficiently. It says, "This is me, that's not me." That's the boundary that helps you survive. But the problem arises when the tool is mistaken for the truth. You are not your thoughts passing through your mind. You are the awareness noticing them. You are not your emotions. You are the space in which they arise. You are not the voice narrating your life. You are the silence that hears it. This isn't philosophy for philosophy's sake. is something you can take, verify now. Ask yourself quietly, who is aware of this thought? Don't answer intellectually. Just notice what happens. The moment you look for the observer becomes the observed. That's the crack in the illusion. If the self is an illusion, why does it feel so real? Because it's designed to protect. The ego is not evil, it is a survival mechanism and identity constructed to navigate danger, belonging, and meaning in a complex world. But survival mechanisms don't know when to stand down, so the ego clings to being right, to being seen, to being special, to being safe. And when the ego feels threatened, it creates suffering, fear of loss, fear of death, fear of insignificance. The irony is this: the ego fears its own disappearance, and yet the disappearance is precisely where peace begins. Not annihilation, but release. Like loosening a clenched fist that's been gripping too tightly for years. Here's the turning point most people miss. There's something in you that has never changed. It was present when you were a child. It was there through heartbreak, confusion, growth, and transformation. It's here now, silently aware of these words. That presence doesn't age. It doesn't argue. It doesn't not defend itself. It simply is. Some traditions call it consciousness, others call it awareness, spirit, the observer, the witness, or the divine spark. Names don't matter. What matters is this: you are not the content of the experience, you are the field in which the experience appears. And when that realization lands, not intellectually, but exponentially, something loosens. Stop fighting yourself. Here's the paradox that confuses many seekers. You cannot get rid of the ego. You can only stop mistaking it for who you are. The moment you try to destroy the ego, it simply reappears wearing spiritual clothing. I'm more awakened than others. I have transcended the ego. I'm special because I see the illusion. That's still the ego, just dressed in sacred robes. True awakening is quieter than that. It feels ordinary, simple, almost disappointing. Because what you'll find is not fireworks, but freedom. Freedom from compulsion, identification. Freedom from being ruled by every thought. Freedom to respond instead of react. When the illusion of self loosens, life doesn't become detached or cold. It becomes intimate. You listen more deeply. You love more openly. You suffer less needing, suffer less needlessly. Still, you play roles: parent, partner, creator, seeker, but you no longer confuse the role with the actor. You become like an artist, aware of the canvas rather than lost in the paint. And from this place, something extraordinary happens. Compassion arises naturally. Because when you begin to recognize yourself in others, not metaphorically, literally, the same awareness looking through your eyes is looking through theirs. Different stories, same source. Let's take a moment. Feel your body. Notice the breath. Let thoughts come and go. Now ask gently, not as a question to be answered, but as an invitation. What is aware of this moment? Rest there. No effort, no striving, just presence recognizing itself. That's it. not a belief, not a concept, an experience. The illusion of self isn't something to escape, it's something to see through. And when you do, life doesn't become less meaningful, it becomes infinitely more alive. Because you're no longer living as the story, you're living as the space in which this story unfolds. The self was never the enemy, it was simply a mask waiting to be set down. And what remains is you. When your mind goes quiet, what do you notice first? Drop your answers in the comments below. And please don't forget to hit like, share, subscribe. Thank you.